just putting a few cuts into where the knees or the back of the knees are. Yeah, what I was saying is that it's best to keep, get your proportions and your shapes, which you're going to use, initially for the legs and stuff. You want to get those all correct. So keep looking around the model, ensure it's not too thick in places, and then once you're happy with the shape, then go in and do the detail or the texture. And what I'm planning to do with these guys is probably do a third pass and possibly a fourth, adding the final details like the boils and things, some veins and things, and that'll probably be the last stage. I mean, it is quite a time-consuming thing. I think it is quite essential to have some way of curing the green stuff when you're working on pieces, so you're not waiting. But sometimes you can get into it and the time goes by, and you're tired, you need a break after 2 or 3 hours of working. I'm pretty quick at sculpting, but after holding the cork and the sculpting tool for a while, it does, you do need a break. So it's not always great to carry on, because your concentration goes, and just need a break. But if you're in the flow and you don't feel fatigued and you want to carry on, put it on the hot plate or whatever you've got to cure it, and keep going. This camera keeps dipping down, which is annoying. Adding some buttocks to him. So I've started working more on another piece than the actual one I was originally doing, but that's only because I mixed too much putty in the beginning. I wanted to make sure I used it as well. So you can sort of see the legs starting to form. The legs, he's got a bit of a lean on, but I wanted this one. I'm working on the one in the middle at the moment, and I wanted him to have sort of a lean on. So I mean, it's not identical to the design, and it is quite difficult to get sculptures perfect to the design. That's the artistic license, isn't it? Doesn't have to be spot on to the design, but a lot of sculptors, including Boris, is very good at duplicating designs and also characters from films and things. That just comes with practice, I think. So this is the piece that I've been mainly working on to show you guys. Try and keep him in frame for you. So what I'm doing is just, like I said, I'm getting the shapes for the body correct, getting the proportions, and sort of starting on the muscle tone and the feet. I'm going to try and put some claws onto the feet, first, and then skin over that. Might need to put a bit more green or the green stuff mix and Sculpt mix. Put a bit more on the feet there, give him longer feet before I start sculpting the claws. Too long at the moment, but I'll trim that down in a minute. I'm just using my fingers to put the putty on. Find it easier than just using the tool, as it can get stuck to that. Right, so now just trying to get the right amount. Sorry, like I said, it gets better to work with the longer you sort of leave it. Obviously it starts to stiffen up after a while and starts to go off. That's the sort of stage that you want to be, you know, applying the final sort of details and things. I just want to get the nice shape of the legs, and just make sure that it looks all in proportion. It's a good idea to try and exaggerate the muscles and things. It just seems to work better for miniatures when things pop. You know, also for the painters, you know, for painting purposes, you know, say sort of a, you know, I come from sort of a painting background, so making a figure that's sort of painter friendly, that's sort of important to me, to make sure that the painter is going to enjoy painting the figure, and all the details are going to pop, or they're going to show well, so the painter will be able to paint them okay. Games Workshop are very good at doing sort of painter friendly miniatures. I mean, they did get quite thick in the 90s with their miniatures, but always very precise, and good to paint. So that's something to bear in mind as well when you're designing your pieces. Right, just going to try and settle back a little bit. Right, I think that looks quite good, like that. So I'm just going to use a bit of water now. It's something I didn't consider when I decided to do these videos, that I would have to also concentrate on keeping it in frame. I'm not sure what other people do, but I couldn't see myself having a tripod in front of me. Starting to get the shape of the leg right now. And the back of the knee there. And the butt. So I'm quite happy with the way that's coming on. It's blocking out nicely. What I'm going to do is leave it to set for a little while and then come back to it and grab some rubber tipped clay shapers to put some more texture and smooth it out a little bit better. Just get the feet right. Some classic Judas Priest on at the moment. I was entertaining you with some scorpions earlier. I think it helps to have some background music. Or a film. It's quite good to watch a film that you know, because you can sort of picture it in your mind when you're working on something. Just listening to the film. The films can be a little bit short when you're sculpting, because the hours can fly by once you get into something. Right, so I'm going to switch off and come back after I've let them sit for a little while, and I'll be back with some clay shapers.